Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Well, happy day before Father's Day on this fine Saturday with the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show with you every Saturday. We love being with you every Saturday to share with you what you need to know, want to know, and should know about real estate and finance to help guide you down the path of personal and financial wellness, and that means all aspects. We tell you about what's going on with interest rates, what's going on with mortgage, what's going on with real estate, what's going on with all kinds of, and today we have the premier family law attorney in town, and Mr. Jim Reape with Reape Rickett Law Firm, and Jim's been sharing a lot of wisdom.
Well, thank you for that.
Wisdom's a great word.
The gray hair comes from somewhere other than the can.
I like to think the same thing. We won't talk to Gino, puppy boy over there, but you know.
Oh no, my hair doesn't even bother going gray. It just goes gone. That's really wise.
Well, Jim, it was really good, and hopefully you pay attention to these segments. You can always go onto our website at donandgino.com and click on the YouTube channel. We have over 725 videos from some of the best professionals ever can assemble in Santa Clarita Valley. Most of them over 30 years experience like Jim. We're not trying to age you. Just 32 years of experience is a wealth of knowledge that we love to pick. And today has been no different. Sharing with where that wisdom comes, your calm demeanor, and your experience to know how to react or how to help others think differently and react differently is key.
It is absolutely key because, again, the purpose of any of your communications, say with a to-be ex-spouse or somebody that, you know, you've created a child with, is to create the outcome that you want. So you have to be very careful in the approach, the words that are chosen. There's trigger words in relationships. There's words that I would describe that burn in one's ear, and once that word is used, listening just turns off. The other thing that you are losing ground in a communication, in a conversation, if before you can finish a thought, the person can't even hold back what the retort is. The communication is going awry. You're probably best to let that person emote, let all of that out. You don't have to agree with it, but you should hear it, you should understand it, you should acknowledge it, and then try again.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so when you look at this, right, so these communications, I think when you end up at your desk, it's because communications have already fallen apart. It's because whatever methodology they're utilizing to communicate, it's not working.
Well, these are the things that I do. So I practice divorce law in California. It's a community property state. Mm-hmm. Why am I so busy when fundamentally community property is divided in half? Last I heard, that's dividing by 2. That's probably something that we covered by the 3rd grade. Why do you need a lawyer for that? Because there's other things that are involved. Well, we all want what's best for our children, don't we? Shouldn't that be easy?
Shouldn't that be easy, like you said? Yeah. Emotions are involved, though.
Well, you hurt me, so therefore you, as my enemy, are likely to be an enemy to my child. And I need now to protect my child from this person who hurt me, who cheated on me. I don't even know who you are anymore. How could I possibly trust you with access to our child?
I'm sure none of you have ever heard this before, either personally or from someone you know. We all have in one way, shape, or form, and it's an unfortunate situation, but we have to deal with it. And I think it's best to get as best of support and help or professionalism to help you, navigate through that. That's a tough thing to navigate through.
It is, and okay, so I'm going to advocate against myself. The courts are the last place in the world that you want to take these things. They're ill-equipped, they run too slow, and they frankly don't know enough about you, the other parent, and your children to really make a decision. It would take them too long to figure that out. Most of the time, if they're going to do something like that, they'll ship it out to another expert, have a child custody evaluation, and those people may spend 8 to 12 hours with you. Oh, wow. And then let's say you take that and you go through a trial. Okay. Realistically, $25,000 for the evaluation, another $100,000 for your attorney. multiplied by 2, so we're $250,000. The judge makes a decision. It doesn't cover all the bases. And after the child goes from age 2 to age 3, everything's different.
Right. All of a sudden you got preschool, then we got, everything changes.
Exactly. Is it worth it? I would like to see parents spend their time and money, in something that's much more productive. There's two ways to approach the children of a relationship. One is probably the better outcome for your children would be this concept of co-parenting. And fortunately, that's easier in marriage cases because, we have to assume that there was some common bond that brought the couple together. So a lot of morality, parenting issues, more likely to be in sync than your one-night stands that you know nothing about. So you want to build from those. You want to build some type of consistency within the households. And most important, what you want to try to do is be empathetic towards your child. What is it like to have the life of your child? Okay, so mom and dad don't live together anymore. Not a problem. Social science research says that alone does not predict a bad outcome for the child. I mean, they may grow up faster, but that is not what takes them off track. What takes them off track is continued conflict between the parents. I am sorry now that I am born. They constantly fight over me. They make me feel bad. I feel in the middle of a tug of war over loyalty. I can't love my mom at dad's house and I can't love my dad at mom's house. I can't even take the telephone call. I have to agree with him or her on this or that. And I have to sit here and listen to what they spew out of their mouths about my other parent, about the other half of my genetic makeup.
Talk about eroding any confidence that you could possibly ever build as a child. And we all know that confidence is a major factor in the success of a child. And you're just eroding away at the base of that. And you just can't, the things you're saying right now, I feel hurt.
Well, it can impress some really long-term damage. So if you damage them when they're young, they could be dealing with significant issues as they become young adults themselves. We have to understand that our children basically learn how to navigate through the world by modeling. They look at others. How do you do this and how do you do that? And are you the mom or dad that you want your child to model? Whether you're in the relationship or outside the relationship, what your children know is what you expose them to. So you have to give it a lot of thought. And a lot of times I have people that are going through a divorce and they're really upset and they have their own problems. And if you've got a child, too bad. Suck it up. One of you has to be the parent, and it shouldn't be the child.
There you go.
There it is.
And there's that passion we love to see. And we've been paying attention, too. If you just tuned in, you're tuned in to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on their hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, with Jim Reape, with the Reape Rickett.
The Reape Rickett.
Law firm, one of the premier family law firms in town, and just a great wealth of knowledge, always sharing. So real quick, we only got about a minute and a half. How can they best get a hold of someone that can best maybe help them navigate or be aware of options at least?
Well, I certainly recommend that you get a hold of a qualified attorney. We're available 661-288-1000. So if the thought is going through your mind, and this is not uncommon, a lot of people will have the thought, a lot of people will work with the thought for an extended period of time before they take any action. But why don't you get some information? Why don't you get some feedback? Why don't you get some skills? Awareness. Why don't you? The other great opportunity is just read. There's plenty of resources. You can go to our website, divorcedigest.com.
Yeah, you have a great blog, don't you?
Go to the bookstore. Go to the. They have this thing called the internet. And there's a lot of good information. How about, let's say you have a troubled relationship and you're trying to help your kids. How about finding, co-parenting with the jerk? It actually exists. There's a book called that. And, you're not the first one to go through this. You're not the only one who has been going through this, so why don't you get the skills and knowledge that help you to navigate it to actually be of help to your children?
All right, what's your website so they can get a hold of you?
DivorceDigest.com.
There you go, DivorceDigest.com with Mr. Jim Reape with Reape Rickett Law Firm, the Reape Rickett Law Firm. Thank you very much for your time, as always.
Well, thanks for having me
And
again.
so much valuable information all the time. Again, totally, if you have any concerns, reach out to Jim Reape. Thank you for joining us. And me and Gino wish you nothing but the best. Have a great Father's Day. Enjoy your family. Love each other. And just be good humans. And join us every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Have a great weekend.